Dustin, Mikey B.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's live. We're doing it live.
Going live?
We're going live. We're going
live.
live.
What do you mean?
This is definitely been a crazy weekend. First weekend of the NFL, man. Week 1. That's it's in the books. We had some surprises. I would say I was kind of surprised with some of the performances that are out there. I was a little surprised at how I guess I wasn't surprised about how my Bears turned out, but. You know, is there anything that stands out to you guys as kind of the biggest surprise from week 1 or really the thing that stood out to you?
The Colts won.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all. I called it in my pre-game video that it was going to be a shit show. Welcome to the shit show. And it was not. I think it was more surprising how Miami shit the bed. I mean, clearly they found themselves in a trash can with Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So
it's terrible down there. It's terrible. They got swamp ass down there.
Do they even know how to football?
I don't think they do.
I think they would have a better option with Tyreek's 14 kids. Let's field his team.
Ouch.
They'd be fast. Be really fast.
They would be real fast.
No, we called it last recording. I mean, we don't. I don't have. I won't say that we called the Colts having the showing that they had, but we definitely called the shit show that is Miami. I mean, McDaniels has lost that team. I think it's been apparent he's lost that team. Tua, I mean, that guy should have retired a year ago. Not because he never had the skills, but I mean, he's concussed out his ass. I mean, and there's plays during that game where it might have looked like he might have picked up another one or got banged up. It might have been playing concussed again. Not to blame it all on that. And I think it's weeks out before we can say, is Miami as bad as they played and the Colts as good as they played? You know, where's that kind of land? But that is surprising. I mean, Danny Dimes looked really good. Our defense looked really good. And Miami looked really bad.
I was really impressed, too, with how he spread the ball out.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't really see that in New York. Granted, they didn't really have multiple people. It's either Tyrone Tracy or Neighbors.
Yeah.
And even then, who knew a single offensive player that wasn't Danny Dimes before that? Right. So, plus another surprising part is how well the defense played. Mm-hmm. You know, we won the first season opener since 2014.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
They scored on every possession.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that for quite a while in the NFL. So,
yeah,
as a Colts fan, there's a lot to be excited about. You know, if I'm a Miami fan, I'm either becoming a hockey fan or I'm rooting for the Hurricanes. I think, you know, or you just find a boat and head south. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
time. We talked about it last episode. It's time for Miami to blow it up. They need to bring in a coach.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever that looks like as far as blowing it up, but definitely head coaching and that staff needs to go. And they need to get somebody in there that can get control of that locker room.
And there's already reports, you know, countless of teams going after Tyreek Hill and, you know, a lot of stuff coming out that he's not going to last a trade deadline there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's going to force his way out.
Yeah, but the whole domestic violence thing he's running into, like, another count of that, he's got another thing out there. That might be something that prevents
Ray Lewis was allowed to kill somebody. I mean, and there's that whole thing. It
was a thing.
It's football. He can still play. Somebody's going to pay for it.
To an extent. I think it'll depend on how bad the heat is, but he's not going to I think one way or the other, that dude's not going to be playing in Miami at the end of this season. I feel pretty confident about that he won't be there.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Whether he's on another team or not, or in jail or whatever the hell he's got going on. I mean, it's a dumpster fire in Miami. You feel, I don't want to say you feel bad. I mean, we got a good buddy, Zach. Shout out, Elite Performance. Feel bad. He's been a Dolphins fan most of his life, and it just sucks. You know, I understand it. We all can sympathize with it because there's no hope at the moment. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have the coach. You've got some talent on the roster, but you're just not getting anything out of that team the way it's currently constructed. So you got to hit the reset. Yeah. And we've talked about it here. There's a lot of hesitation to go with the hit the reset button and then just tank out. But sometimes you got to hit the reset button. It's okay to have a bad year. At
for
least
sure.
if people understand what
not,
you're doing.
You're not rewarded for mediocrity. Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, you're not getting that top pick. And so, like, if you're in need of a QB or if you're in need of some skilled position that's going to go high, and you're just winning 9 games, you're screwed. You know,
Yeah.
you're living in purgatory. And to your point, you know, whether that looks like tanking, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people on this podcast, or one person in general, doesn't like that.
Danny's not a tank fan.
Yeah, they don't believe in that. They don't think in that. But it is what it is. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
100%. There's certain times when you got to blow up a franchise. You got to recognize that, hey, it's just not moving in the right direction. And sometimes it works, and you can turn things around. I mean, we've seen it with a number of teams that have found a way to hit the reset button, and things have gone okay. But you see it a lot of teams that hasn't. You know, not just looking at football. It's, you know, looking at what we see from, you know, in the NBA and what the Sixers did and trusting the process. Well, the process didn't work.
Yeah.
So Miami's got a lot to clean up. But one of the surprises that I had, kind of going back to week 1, was the Steelers. And I guess,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what I thought I was going to see. I mean, honestly, it's the game itself was surprising because I don't know what I expected to see, but somehow I just expected both of them to suck so bad that somebody was going to win like 10-6.
Sure.
And we're like, Aaron Rodgers is done. I told you Justin Fields can't see the field. He can't read a defense. But I came out of that game thinking these teams are better than I thought they were going to be.
For sure.
And the Jets and Justin Fields, maybe they've unlocked something with him.
Well, look at
Maybe.
their offensive coordinator, dude. Was Ben Johnson's sidekick on the
Yeah.
offensive staff for Detroit, and you know, look at this offense compared to
Yeah.
Detroit, and then you know that game was very surprising. I didn't expect Aaron Rodgers to do what he did. I didn't expect Justin Fields to do what he did,
Yeah.
and to have an offensive juggernaut. You know, if I'm a Jets fan, there's quite a bit to be excited about. You know, if I'm the Steelers fan, Jesus Christ, you're probably going to the Super Bowl is what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they're delusional. We know
Oh,
Steelers
absolutely.
fans are delusional.
They are
Absolutely.
delusional. You know, I'm still not sold on the Jets yet. And Justin Fields, it was a hell of a game. The Steelers, and I said this in one of our chats, is if there's anybody that can squeeze the last bit of juice out of Aaron Rodgers, it's Tomlin. I think you saw that last year. I mean, they didn't have a great year, but for what he had on that team,
Yeah.
they did pretty good. They did okay. And then you bring in somebody like Rodgers. What do you have, like 4 TDs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can keep it up for a whole season.
Absolutely.
You know, and we'll see if he can do it over 17 games. But it's a freaking hell of a start.
I was just excited to see him sling the ball around
Yeah.
like he was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what he's gone through over the last 2 years, like I've been a fan of his whole career,
Absolutely.
and to see these last couple of years, it's like, damn, man, that
Yeah.
dude. I'm just so used to that dude slinging the ball, and to see him get back as a fan of football,
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
excited to
Yeah,
see that.
I think of any sport, but yeah, for sure, of one of the legends, you want to see them go out, whether they get to Super Bowl or just a good run, right off into the sunset on like a high note, versus you know being carted off or going out on a losing season. Like, let's have a hell of a season. Maybe hopefully it's a winning season. Maybe make a little playoff run, and then you know I don't know if we'll hang it up or not. But you love to see the legends kind of go out on a high note versus just puttering out.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. What we want to see is we want to see good football. You root for seeing the guys that we know as gunslingers. Like, you know, obviously being a Bears fan, I was not a huge Brett Favre guy,
Right.
but it's entertaining football, and that's what I want to see. And Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I don't know how Green Bay did it, but essentially you got a gunslinger in him, but he was
Yeah.
better than Favre. I mean, by any, I think, measure. So you want to see him have kind of one last hurrah. But, you know, I don't care about the Steelers. And at the end of the day, if they end up, it implodes, I'm cool with that too. But I would like to see some good football out of Aaron Rodgers before he hangs it up. But, like, this is it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
let's not, come on. It's going to get sad after this because the next stop is, I don't even know where you go from Browns. I guess. I don't know where else you go from.
ruin
This
your
has gotta-
whole
yeah,
career.
this has gotta be
I'll
it.
tarnish everything.
This has got to be it.
This will be it.
Yeah.
And I think another person who it's definitely it for is Russ. I mean, I think he's cooked. You ain't going to let him cook. He is cooked. He's done. Can we
Yeah.
just be done with him? Like, it's done, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything left there that makes you feel like the dude's got it?
No,
Hasn't been.
not at all.
He needs to go.
Yeah.
But hey,
So I guess then the question is, if you're in New York, I mean, who do you put in there? Because the backup is it's Jackson Dart, I
It's
believe.
Dart,
yeah,
yeah.
because third is
DeVito.
Jameson.
You might see.
Or, yeah,
DeVito's
it's Jameson. Yeah,
I mean,
Jameson.
if they continue down this road, you might see a mid-season change. You know,
Yeah.
you give Dart a few.
yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, you give
before
him
see
a few
Dart.
games to kind of get his feet under him, and then
Because
Get in there.
you're only doing the let's ride and buy into that bullshit for
Right.
so long.
yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, he gets to see, even though they got their
Jameis. It's Jameis. I want to say Jameson. I was like, I don't know. I can't think of this dude's name. Sorry.
look. I
James.
mean, you want a fun guy to put in. That's not. You might get 4
he
touchdowns.
definitely sling the ball
Yeah,
around.
I'm a fan.
I am
we,
too.
We talked about it here.
Yeah.
It would have been great to have him with Indy,
100%.
but
I would have signed up for that ticket.
Jackson Dart's the future in New York, and I think that's the way they view it. But I also think that probably, I mean, if it were me, I'd put him as third, because Russ is cooked. I mean, he's done. You get Russ out of there, put him in the third spot, bring Jameson, and let him do his thing. Give him a few weeks. Hopefully, Jackson Dart picks something up, and then by the end of the season, maybe start feeding him some, some games. But
No, I think that's the hope. I mean, you don't want to do, and they're not doing what we did with AR, which is just throw them to the wolves. So rough through a bad season or a mediocre season with 2 okay quarterbacks and Russ and Jameis, get through it, and then pass the torch off.
it's time. Yeah, it's time. And turning it back to what we saw, we talked about the Packers earlier. I think seeing what the Packers did to the Lions, I don't know that it was necessarily that surprising just because you've got 2 new coordinators, but you really saw no pass rush whatsoever with Detroit, which is a major red flag for them because if you can double team and basically take out number 1 guy, you're in trouble. You're in trouble if they can't get a pass rush.
Regardless of how much Michael was going to play, I don't think much of anybody expected that offense or that defense at Green Bay to stop Detroit's hellacious offense attack the way that it did. I mean, Amon-Ra had 3-4 catches. Laporta had 2 catches. Granted, the last 2 years he's been a blocker.
Yeah.
You had Gibbs, who had the most catches with the least amount of yards in football history.
Yeah.
You had 10 catches for 31 yards. Anyone who's ever had 10 catches has not done that.
Yeah.
It was very impressive to see Green Bay do what they did. I mean, I didn't expect it.
Well, yeah, and if Hutchinson's not, if you can just double team Hutchinson and you take away the entire pass
Clearly,
rush
yeah.
for Detroit, they're going to have a long.
Plus, they
season.
still got a lot of cats that's injured from last football season. A lot of guys they lost on their playoff run.
Yeah.
Onto their 15-win season. A lot of guys they lost late in that season that are coming back October, November this year. So
Yeah, and would the Lions lose their offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
lost. They
Yeah.
lost.
It's the
8
Bears coach.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
They
yeah,
lost
straight
8
up.
coaches off that staff.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? You're going to lose some stuff there. What season is it for their head coach, Campbell? Is it his 3rd, 4th, 5th?
4th or 5th.
People figuring him out a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a reset, right? I mean, you got the same head coach, same culture, but a reset on your staff. It's going to take a minute.
It takes time.
It's not going to be the first week. I don't have a huge concern. I'm with Danny. I don't think Goff is like the greatest quarterback ever. I think he's serviceable. I think if you had a little bit better of a QB, maybe you have a better outing than you had last week. But I think by week 3 or 4, they're going to figure it out.
And
get
here's
rolling.
where I stand with it is I see Cincinnati more as a dumpster fire than I see Detroit being a dumpster fire.
Shocked by that.
That
outcome.
was more alarming to me than Detroit. The way, you don't get Jamar Chase going. You barely get anything out of your running game. Burrow's doing whatever the hell that line clearly can't block for him.
If I'm Burrow, I don't know who's not screaming like, "Get me the hell out of here." He's gonna die back there. He's gonna. And I mean,
it's, nobody will pay the price to get him.
yeah, no, I get that, but it's just like that's gonna be an early career exit for probably what could be a generational type QB if they could keep him safe.
He's solid. I think he's a good starter, and he's in a very difficult situation with the Bengals. But at the same time, I don't think that they had a lot. I mean, they didn't have a lot of reps in the preseason with starters and just getting the flow back in there. I will reserve judgment until we get a few more weeks into the season to really be super alarmed about them. But yeah, you should manhandle the Browns.
yeah,
but the Browns have a good D, too.
the
It's not
Bengals-
like they're a slouch on the defensive side. Offense is a dumpster fire, but the defense is solid.
The Bengals feel just like they did last year. I mean,
The Bungles.
the outside of the Burrow didn't perform at an MVP level this game, but it was just a roughed out win, a game they should have won by more. And they did that all last season, where it was either you lost it or they just fought through and somehow came up at that bare minimum level.
Yeah.
It feels like they didn't make any progress whatsoever after the offseason, and they're just doing the same shit, and that's not a good look.
Well, too, when you look at the Burrow era, every year but the Super Bowl year, they've started off slow.
Yeah,
So we'll see. Only 4 teams to go 0-2 have made it to the Super Bowl. Actually, no, they won. They did win 17-16.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Tennessee's pass.
Use past.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you want to talk about, I mean, is there anything else before we put a pin on week 1, is there anything else that surprised you or anything else that you'd call out from week 1 other than what we've already covered? Or we feel pretty good with that's kind of it?
Game of the year. Game of
Oh
the
yeah, how do we not
year.
talk about that?
Buffalo.
Buffalo and what Baltimore was able to do. I mean, that was a hell of a game. It was
Yeah.
it was impressive, and I think it reminds you of what that top tier quarterback looks like.
Plus, Danny tried to call it out in our group text of how trash the defenses are. You've got 2 of the best offenses
Yeah,
of this generation playing right now, and there's only so much you can do with 2 of the best quarterbacks dueling it out.
Yeah.
That was money football, and to be able to get that on Sunday night or whenever that game was, I don't even know. I was sick.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a game. Josh Allen is that man. And Lamar, I mean, kudos to him, too. I mean, he's running a hell of an offense. It is the game of the year. And I think you're looking at the 2 best teams right now.
Yeah.
Until somebody else proves us wrong. I mean, I know the Chargers played well, but they didn't do that shit. I mean, that was insane.
yeah.
And who else is coming back like that? I mean, who else against a dynamic team like the Ravens, who are going to put up 40, probably could have put up 50.
Right.
What were they down 15 in the fourth?
Yeah,
something like
something
that with
like
like
that.
7 minutes to go. I don't know. No, I don't think there's any other team in the NFL right now that can come back right now like they just did. I mean, I know anything's possible, but like they did, it's cooked. They were cooked.
They were not phased, and that's the takeaway I had from it is that listen, when it comes to any shortcomings the Bills may end up having, it's not a leadership void. It's not hey, our best player doesn't show up when it counts. I mean, again, this is regular season, but I feel like you got a different vibe at Josh Allen a little bit. So we'll see how that carries through. It's a long season, a long way to go for playoffs or anything like that. But like, they're in that situation, man. It's Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
passed, big week 1 test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm, on the outside of the Buffalo Bills organization, all roads still go through Arrowhead.
Yeah.
You still, as much as I hate the Chiefs, you still have to prove that you can beat the Chiefs.
100%.
And, I think if there's any year, this for me feels like more of a make it or break it year for Josh Allen. Like you have to get
It's
over
this
that.
year. Yeah.
You have
yeah.
to get over that hump.
Yeah.
Well, and that could be something worth noting too. And I think as we look to, before we get into week 2, I got to cover the Bears. I did a little bit of a rant on that, but I don't think there's any way you can slice it around the fact that Caleb Williams he cost his team the game, in my opinion.
Clearly.
Like, that was the
That
number
missed
one
pass
factor.
to DJ Moore was
He had
the
5 or
worst.
6. He had 5 or 6 where he just airmailed it, 5-6 yards over the guy's head, no chance for it, and he's not under any undue pressure, and he's making some of these throws. He's just whiffing, like he just whiffed, and that right there is the shakiness. Same thing we saw with Trubisky in Chicago. The guy had all the ability he could. I mean, he's not as good at scrambling and throwing as like Caleb has the skill set to do, but Trubisky could. There were times he threw it to be perfect. The mechanics are great, and you're like, where is this dude? Why doesn't he show up every play? And even he, I felt like, was more consistent than what I saw from Caleb, where it's just, well, let me put it this way. He had more good throws than I saw from Caleb in this last game, where it's like the first half, everyone's like going to ride him about having a good first half, but it's all dinks and dunks. He wouldn't throw it down the field. That's why I said in the group chat, I was like, the Bears could get trucked in the second half because I knew that they were going to take away the check down, and he wouldn't throw it deep. He just wouldn't do it, and now we know why, because he can't throw a deep ball apparently unless he's on the run and he's throwing it across his body and it's on the sideline. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but they've got a hell of a challenge moving into week 2 here versus Detroit.
I'm in the optimistic side. I mean, I'm not a Bears fan at all. You guys know me. I've not been a Caleb Williams fan. But I will say this. He's got a new coach. It's a hell of an offensive coordinator, offensive mind from where he come from. It's going to take time. And I don't think he was awful. Wasn't great. Missed some throws, whatever. But I think, let's see. Week 4, week 5, week 6. Let's see what he looks like. Let's get him comfortable. That's probably what half those dinks and dunks were. We're like, let's get this guy in a rhythm.
Well, it didn't help. He couldn't be comfortable with his mouthpiece thrown on the ground the way it was. And what was more worrisome for me was seeing how many times he was running around in the pocket. Even in the first half when they were playing great.
Yeah.
He's running around the pocket when he really doesn't need to. He can slide over one way or slide up or – just make it a little adjustment, keep your composure, and still nail that pass in the pocket. And he's just giving up way too quickly. And
yeah. That is a concern. Is like you didn't see that area of growth right from year 1 to year 2 and that type of stuff. So that is a concern. It's a red flag. We'll see where it's at in a few weeks. The one thing I would want the Vikings, and I'm tired of seeing it, is like I've seen so much about JJ and how great of a game he had. I don't think he was that good. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback. He reminds me of just like a really hard-nosed college quarterback. And I think Caleb Williams is going to have a way better career, and I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know if that means like, hey, he's going to win a Super Bowl, or if it just means he's going to be a starter for longer. But J.J. McCarthy's not it, and I'm tired of seeing the freaking videos and the celebrations of this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of it. Like, we crown these guys that have very mediocre performances just because they throw a touchdown at the right time or they do whatever at the right moment. And it's just like, he did nothing. He did nothing.
What I would point to is that in the second half, the Bears' defense was completely gassed because they were on the field too much. They had to do too much in the first half, and they were toast.
Yeah.
They didn't have any depth. The 2 of their starting cornerbacks were out. Starting linebacker was out. They've got backups, and there's no depth. You can't bring in the third stringer, you're going to get cooked. I mean, I don't care how bad we might think J.J. McCarthy is. If you got a third stringer on freaking –
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you're going Jefferson, you're going to get toasted. I mean, and they did get toasted at the point. So I would attribute – yes, he did some things better for sure. I don't think there's any way you can look at it and say he didn't have a better second half. But I attribute a lot of it, too. Also, the Bears just got completely – they were gassed, man.
Yeah.
Because they had nothing from that offense. Nothing. So the thing I would say is that I'm not impressed. You expect to see a little bit more than that. I get it. You got to give it time. But I'm not looking at schemes or like, I don't blame the guys for all the false starts and stuff. That crap happens because you're changing a cadence. They're trying to figure out what they're supposed to do. That's just part of it. But the missed throws, not under duress, to wide open receivers tells me the receivers were likely running the correct route. The scheme was good. Dude just missed throws, and he didn't have an excuse for it, and that's troublesome because if he's got the yips, you're screwed. Because
what do you expect when you play professional football and you're painting your nails?
There we go. I knew it was coming.
Have you seen him try to swing a baseball bat? Have you seen that? Have you seen the video?
I
Have you seen the? You've seen it? You've not seen it? Okay.
I intentionally
look that up
watch
when
it.
we're off here. Him try. He's at like a Cubs outing or something. It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst. All right, week 2 starts tonight, boys. Who's taking it? What do you think we're seeing tonight with the Commanders and the Packers?
Take the under.
Yeah?
Take the under. It's supposed to be the highest scoring Thursday night football game, which is what
Get out of here.
the sportsaholics are calling it, but I'm taking the under if I'm a betting man.
Yeah.
I think Washington pulls it out, and it's close, and it's an ugly 18-14 type of game is kind of where my head's at.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge Love fan. I don't think they have the power to do it. Jaden Daniels is, I think, going to have I wouldn't say a sophomore slump, but he's going to come down to reality this year. I don't see how this is going to be the highest. You say the highest Thursday night football game ever?
It's what a lot of deep-rooted NFL guys are saying that this
That's why we
is
don't listen. That's why-
makings
There we go.
to be a 30-40. Like they're trying to compare it to golf versus Mahomes when golf was in LA. Is
Stop.
what they're trying to do.
Stop. Okay. That's why you should listen to Marshall Huey
Right.
and not the NFL guys.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't.
I don't.
It's
I'll be
interesting.
pleasantly surprised. Like as a football fan, I want it to be high scoring.
Sure.
Who doesn't?
Everybody
But
does.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
It's kind of tough to game. It'll be a question of who, without as much game planning, can have success. And I would point to there's an opportunity for Jaden to use more of his legs because that's less of a. I mean, it's less scheme to just say, hey, if you get an opening, just go run. You know, that's
Right.
less difficult than figuring out the passing game. But so I think you could see some scrambles from him. He'll need to escape the pressure because they're gonna get pressure on him to an extent. So I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know if it'll be high scoring either, but I mean, 48.5 is the line. You know, that's
a lot.
20 to 25 type game. I mean, I would probably bet right at that. So I'm going to say the under just the scotch, but I could see it going over too, though. I mean, honestly, it depends.
It could.
It depends what happens. I think it
Anything's
depends on
possible.
the Packers D is going to
Yeah.
be the difference there.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's an interesting game. That could be that's a meaningful game in a week 2 right off the bat. It's a good test for both of
Yeah.
them. Again, none of us are fans of Love. I don't know. If
No,
anybody-
but
Well,
it's nice to have a relevant Thursday night. I mean, it's the second week of the season. Everybody's technically relevant, but you have a Washington team that should be relevant all season, and you have a Packers team that should be relevant. So it's nice to have these types of games on the calendar. to be able
Yeah,
to
I'm
watch.
really excited and about this Washington team. And as far as tonight goes, I like Bill Krosky Merritt. He's their Washington's rookie running back. I like for him to get over 100 yards and a tutty. And I like Washington's defense. I really think they open up the blitz scheme against Love, show him a lot of exotic coverages. And, I really think this is a game that shows how trash Jordan Love is.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, hey, none of us here are believers, and I'm all for it. Again, I was actually happy when the Packers signed him to a long-term contract. It's like, great, tie all that money up.
Yeah.
And we talked about it before. You got nearly a quarter of your salaries devoted to 2 guys.
Yeah.
No.
That's a lot, man. It's one thing if it's, you got Mahomes back there, you got Brady, and
No.
I mean, I think Micah's probably in that kind of territory on
Right.
the defensive side, but Love ain't that, man.
Talk about living in mediocrity, and I think that's what the Packers sign themselves up to do for the next however long with those type of contracts.
They're the favorite. Everyone's all over them. Everyone's all over their jock to win the NFC North, like guaranteed. Like I haven't heard anybody predict anyone other than the Packers winning it.
Yeah, I mean, they're a playoff team. But just,
Yeah, especially after what they did to Detroit, that's even fueled more flame to that fire.
I think it'll be a race to the bottom between Detroit and Chicago, and I think it'll be neck and neck between Minnesota and Green Bay. If JJ has if he's able to replicate what he did in the second half, and we see more of that positive.
I don't see Detroit beating Green Bay, but I see them finishing second in the division. I don't think Minnesota has enough to climb that hurdle,
Well, it's going to be
especially having JJ a quarterback that's
yeah, I just don't think
they're a complete trash organization.
Well, here's the thing: the Bears have the Lions this week, and whoever loses that game is not only 0-2, they're 0-2 in their division, so
Right.
they're done. Their season's over in week 2. I mean, really, nobody recovers from that. If you go 0-2 in your division, you're not going to. I don't think you make playoffs. So I view this. This is a game that the Bears are going to get blown out, in my opinion. I think they get. I think they get embarrassed. I think
This
they
should
get
be a
trucked.
sign for the Lions. Like if they don't blow them out, then you got some red flags.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Whatever the score is, I think it's going to be higher than people think, and I think the Bears are probably going to get embarrassed. And I think Caleb's going to have an awful game because I could be wrong, but this is just what I see from it, and what the only thing I look at and potentially see there being somewhat of an advantage or a helper for the Bears is the fact that you think Ben Johnson understands
Sure.
the weaknesses and how to attack certain guys, but Campbell's going to get him motivated, man. He's got him pumped.
After
you
that
know
week
they're
one,
going.
yeah, for sure.
Especially some of the questions he was being asked by the media.
Yeah.
is that dude? He's going to be fired up, but
They're going to score
we'll
points.
see. I mean, Dan Campbell was still the head coach last week,
Yeah.
and none of them guys showed up. So that tells me two things. Either they're not believing in Dan Campbell or there's something else going on in that locker room.
Yeah.
But
and it's
you
week
know,
one.
It's week one. You know, I don't think it's cause of concern just yet. But like you said, whoever comes out of this game's, you know, you're 1-1 and the other one's 0-2, and that's division. So
Throw it. Basically, the division race is
it's
over.
crazy
for that
to
team.
have a must-win game this early in the season.
I don't think it is for the Bears. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think that I thought that they were going to toe the line and be right there. I never thought they'd really win the division, but I figured they'd be right there. They lose this one, that's done. And you just want to see positive momentum, because if it continues down this path, then you're going to have people calling for Bajent to come in, and that's the end of Caleb. That'll be done. That'll be it, which is shocking, but that's how quickly it's going to turn Chicago. They're not going to deal with that. You can do the finger painting shit and all that as long as you can actually throw the ball.
Some games.
You win some games, you can do whatever the hell you want.
You know, plus you know, a lot of Bears fans are super happy with and excited about the Ben Johnson era. You're going to find people giving up on Caleb Williams really quick.
The home team booed them in week one.
Yeah,
in the second half they booed them. That's pretty telling.
You know, other than the Jets
We're done.
or the New York media, who's the next one that's tough to play in? Chicago's not an easy.
Yeah.
You
tired
better
of
get
losing.
your shit together. They're tired of losing, and
Yeah, I mean, it's a test for everybody. I mean, we've talked about it here about coordinators. I mean, it's a test for Ben Johnson, because just because you're a fantastic offensive coordinator does not mean you're a leader of men, does not mean you're a head coach. Not saying that he's not, but it's a test. The next few weeks is that. It's a test for Caleb Williams. Can he get his shit straight? Was he gun shy? Was it the new system? We'll see. And then for the Lions on the flip side, I mean, me and Danny have been talking about it, is not necessarily Dan Campbell on the hot seat, but if things shifted a little bit on him, he's lost his staff, is he lost the locker room, is his motivation, that really does only go so far before you've got to have some X's and O's and be able to adjust. Not saying he doesn't have some of that, but I think he relies heavily on the passion of the locker room and the players. And to Marshall's point, they didn't show up. They just did not show up. So this second game, can he get his boot back in their ass and win a damn game?
I mean, for a team that's supposed to be one of the favorites out of the NFC, is supposed to be there fighting against Philadelphia. They didn't look like it. You know, maybe they expected it, and that's why they got punched in their mouth. I've seen that time and time again.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully for Dan Campbell's sake, he can get that ship turned around. But
There's only so many kneecaps you can bite off before people get full. You know, they've had enough kneecaps and something else. So I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna learn a lot about both teams. I have a pretty good feeling that and in the direction it's gonna go in. But that's why they play the games. Moving into another matchup, you gotta look at the Colts and Broncos. This is a good measuring stick for the Colts.
I think so too.
And I don't think you have to win the game to feel good about your team. No. For the Colts, I think if you're competitive, because the Broncos are a good team. They got a really good defense. They got a quarterback who's on the rise.
See, I'm not on Bo. I think Bo Nix is overrated. I don't think he's good.
He's got one of the best coaches out there, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Sean Payton he's got the experience. He's got the tutelage. He's coached Drew Brees, and he knows what he's doing.
I do think they're great. I do think they're a good team. I think they got a good defense. I think they have a good whole team. But I do think there's some places we can exploit them. And like you said, it's a good measuring stick for us. Can we keep up? Can we have some success? I think we can get a win. And we'll just kind of see where it goes. Because I do think that one of their weaknesses is Bo Nix. I think we can slow him down. I think we can take, especially the defense I saw last week, I think we can take some things away. On offense, can we be equally successful is going to be the question for me.
Yeah.
the first team to score double digits wins this game. In my opinion, you're gonna have two defenses slugging it out. You know, that big play. You know, is it Denver making it to Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton, or is it one of these 60-yard bombs to Pittman or Pierce or Warren coming up the middle? I do think for the first time in quite a while we have a hell of an attack offensively, and it's going to be tough to scheme against, but Broncos for the last 2-3 years have one of the best defenses in the league, so it'll be exciting. It'll be a very exciting game in my opinion. First one to score double digits.
You know what's kind of
opinion.
crazy for the Colts is like you feel like you go from a quarterback in AR that very dynamic athlete,
Yeah.
right, and you go it to Danny Dimes, and Danny Dimes is an athlete. He can move, but he's not as dynamic of an athlete as AR.
True.
But it plays well in the offense, like you just said, that we have. Like the way he can, you can scheme things up for the different receivers. You got JT, you've got Tyler Warren, and you have a QB that can actually read the room. And
Plus, look what happens when you hit your little 10-yard
Right.
out routes.
Right.
You make those passes, it sets up
Right.
your whole possession.
Right. So you take some of that excitement that AR brought out of it, like, oh my God, look what he's doing over here. But he can't do these little things, and you bring a guy in that can do these little things that maybe can't do as exciting of those other things, but our offense is playing 10 times better. At least in one game, is playing 10 times better.
Steichen seemed to be pretty stoked by it. You can definitely tell that played a huge part in the decision making to start him. Is just like, look, man, just give me consistency. Like,
Yeah.
Which I can't believe I'd ever be saying that Danny Dimes be consistent. If anything, he'd be consistently terrible. That's what he was in New York.
Trash can Dan is what they called him.
But listen, well, he's Indiana Jones now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, you can't take away too much from 1 week. 2 weeks is it's a pattern. 3 weeks is a trend, and I think at that point you start looking at like,
Okay, this is who we are.
And I thought what was crazy too is you had that they announced Daniel Jones, and then you have all these guys in the locker room, and what that shit show was, and then to see all this passion come out of all the video clips during the game of Quentin Nelson and all these guys being hype guys like they're in high school again and loving the game. So it was really nice to see that as a fan, and
100%.
That kind of mentality doesn't come up, but when you're playing well and it's all coming together, it's infectious.
Yeah.
And then it spreads into the next week.
Absolutely.
And then it comes into the next. It just keeps spreading, and that's the kind of infection that you want in an NFL team. And it's exciting to see that back as a Colts fan.
Because we haven't had it, and I think, and I don't know how great of a leader Jones is. But I think what AR was missing was that, like, people know, or the locker room knows, he's putting the work in. They know,
Right.
They know that he's studying film. They know he's here every day to, it's all in. And that right there brings people together. I mean, same for us as a group of dudes doing this. It's like when you know that this person or these people are all in, you gel better versus when you've got a guy that's like halfway out that, will tap out of games, and he was worried about his rap career and worried about like you're not, even if you might like the guy, even if he's athletic, you're just kind of like, you're not gelled.
It's fair.
And then you bring a guy in like Jones who's gonna bust his ass.
Yeah, there's definitely no vibes to say the opposite. I mean, he's definitely come in, and people have been impressed with the professionalism, even with all the noise and everything there. He seems like he's come in and been a professional.
Yeah.
To the end of the day, I think that's all Steichen was looking for. Is like, look, man, to your point earlier, I can. You can have your big plays. If you give me consistency, at least we can move the ball and score some points. Mm-hmm. Give us a fighter's chance, puncher's chance to win a game. Not this dude who's going to just run around and just miss open guys and not be able to read the field and not be able to adjust for the pass rush, things like that. So, any predictions? Colts Broncos. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I'm gonna ride the wave with the Colts. Win by 7.
I think. We're 21-17. Colts win.
I like it. 21-17. Colts win. I would probably go. I would go 21-14. Broncos. I think Broncos win the game, but I think it's a good game, and I think if you're able to put up a few tutties against that team, that's nothing to slouch at because that's a good defense. Whatever you think of Denver, defense has been pretty solid and really good secondary. So. The other interesting matchup that's happening roughly the same time, of course, so we have to pick and choose, but the Eagles and Chiefs. Yeah. What a interesting week 2 matchup, because if you think about it, there is a very, very legitimate shot that the Chiefs could be 0-2. Yeah. How crazy is that? And they got a division loss.
Yeah.
They could they could be, 0-2, a division loss in there, and that could spell some trouble for them. Because the playoff likelihood starts dipping a bit. Now, I wouldn't put normal odds against the Chiefs, but they look pedestrian, man.
Is that game in Philly or is that
in
Arrowhead?
It's in Arrowhead.
Of course it's in Arrowhead.
Yeah,
I
sure.
like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
24-21.
Yeah, the Chiefs are taking this.
No way the NFL lets Patty lose this one. Plus, he finds a way to have his bullshit plays where he's stretching a rule here, stretching a rule there. Chiefs are winning that game.
Yeah, I think so.
Plus, Taylor's probably making a special guest appearance, so Chiefs are winning.
I'm actually going to go with the Eagles on this one. I think the Eagles pull it off. I think we're seeing the end of a lot of what the Chiefs are. I think teams have figured out how to go up against them. I just don't think they have the power that they once had. They're not.
Yeah.
I don't think people are intimidated by them anymore. Not like they were. And there's going to be a high likelihood that I think that they're going to struggle for the first part of this year. They're missing some weapons. You got Xavier Worthy who's out. Rasheed Rice still gone. He's going to be out.
Not coming back till week 7?
Yeah. So those are two big weapons that are gone. You got some trouble. There's some trouble there, and you got Kelsey and stuff. But I think teams can take him away.
Oh,
so what are you going to do? Are you going to be able to run the ball well enough, Pacheco?
They don't run.
I don't think so.
They don't.
Yeah.
Pacheco's one of the hardest running backs in the league. Well, hardest running backs in the league. There's very few people that run as tough and angry as he was running. They give up on him so quickly. He's one of those guys. We've talked about it, get 20 rushes in a game, probably have 100. 90 to 100 yards and a couple tutties, but they just give up on them. They're throwing the ball everywhere, thinking they have Tyreek Hill still.
The way I look at the Chiefs is, as much as we hate on Mahomes, rightfully so, for the shit he does, it's not much different than the Patriots back in the day. Where,
it's not, yeah.
There were seasons that they opened up, and you're like, is it over for them? There's another Super Bowl. They rolled up. It was a rough season, but they chugged it out. And I get to your point. Yeah, I think people have figured him out a little bit. I think people aren't as scared of him. They're still the Chiefs. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid. And as long as that's still there, especially in Arrowhead, I'm not betting against them. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I'm all in on the Chiefs right now for this game at least.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if we're talking pick 'em, that's one thing. If you're putting money on it, I'm not putting money on that. I'm not putting my money where my mouth is on that game.
I like to see Saquon run all over that team.
Yeah, oh for sure.
That's a given. But out of the last game that Philadelphia played, there's a shit ton of question marks on their side. They couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah, Philly didn't
to
look,
anybody.
Philly didn't look great either. Yeah,
I mean AJ had.
Like a catch.
Like maybe one catch.
Yeah.
Devontae had 4 catches.
Would Hurts throw for like 150 or something like that?
Like 180. Like he had, I think, a 200-yard game when you factor in rushing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they turned that around this week, though. I don't think you're going to get too many weeks in a row where that Eagles offense isn't able to produce. And, again, the thing we have to keep in mind, and I've been trying to remind myself with my Bears about this, but like it's 1 week and it's not what it used to be. Game 1 in the past it meant a little more in terms of like getting an understanding of what your team was. But just the way they do preseason now, it's so hard to. That's basically like it's going to take 2 or 3 games before you have a sense of who they are.
Right.
So I think the Eagles' offense is going to do much, much better. And the Chiefs had some struggles, in that first game. And the Chargers, I don't think the Chargers are that great. I mean, they're good enough. They beat the Chiefs, but I'm not they're not world beaters over there, And I felt like they did a pretty good job against the Chiefs.
The big thing with the Chargers is you didn't expect Quentin Johnson to catch some of them balls he was catching.
Yeah, actually catch a ball.
Yeah, you expected him to see something shiny and drop the ball like he has the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Another thing I expected more out of Amarian Hampton, their rookie running back. Not concerning, I just expected, I don't know, maybe them to run the ball a little bit more than what they did with him. Maybe the Chiefs were ready for that. I don't know, but we'll see, man. It's exciting. Football season is here.
Yeah.
Well, the real question is how is it that the Eagles and Chiefs isn't the Sunday night game and you got Falcons Vikings? Like, how did that? Who decided
it's terrible
that?
planning.
What they're doing is it's the rematch of the national championship from 2-3 years ago.
The national championship.
Oh, Penix.
JJ versus Penix.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I know, and
that's doo-doo.
Yeah. Who else?
Have you seen that it's the Falcon this time again? Have you seen this? Back when Vic played, they had a quarterback with 1 letter away from
Yeah.
Dick. Yeah, and then now they have Penix 1 letter away from.
Of course.
I mean, it's got to be true, right?
I love the internet.
He is
It's
a bit.
got to be.
I
It's
love
Falcons all the way,
They're-
baby.
They are a bit cocky, and you hate to see that, but it'd be interesting to see what happens. With that.
It'd be interesting to see how he treats animals.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Do you have pet dogs and do
Yeah.
you electrocute them?
Yeah. So
It's a low bar.
What's the over under on that?
I don't know, man.
1.5.
Yeah. What if he does get arrested for dog fighting?
No.
I'm here for it. I hate this, and I'm here for it.
I know.
There'll be signs though. And Michael Vick sold his old property, and Michael Penix got it. Wait a minute.
And changing his jersey number to 7. This is wild.
Right.
Well, yeah, wait a minute. Mike Vick, Mike Penix.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about that either. Things are getting weird. Things are getting weird down there in Atlanta. You don't know what you're going to get.
Put all your money on the Falcons.
I think the Falcons win that game, honestly. I don't know why, but I feel like Bajan's going to have a good game. They're going to show a few things. Vikings are really good defense, though, man. They may end up being one of the top defenses in the entire league. when it's
Vikings are
said and done.
trash.
It's really hard for me to get excited about the Vikings. Like
They're trash. The only reason why they won that game is because KOC knows how to coach a game.
Yeah, I think
JJ did
Yeah.
not win that game. Kevin O'Connell.
no, I didn't say that. But again, like you have to look at it. The Bears basically they got some points in kind of garbage time. They really scored one touchdown on offense. They got that pick 6. So, yeah, I think the Vikings are better than what we probably think they are. But I think the Falcons take that game.
They are who we thought they were.
Let them off the hook.
it's the best clip.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Crown him.
I'll never forget that game. I remember that game. That was amazing. It was an amazing moment.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Denny Green.
Yeah. I forgot he's gone.
Yeah, he gone. He'd been gone for a
Yeah,
minute.
they've been
too.
gone for a while.
Yeah, those coaches, those former NFL coaches generally don't live too long.
Yeah.
That's a stressful
High strung.
life. Yeah,
High strung.
Surprised John Gruden survived as long as he has.
God. He looks like he's about to go down every time he's yelling at somebody.
yeah, I don't think he's going to get back in the coaching. If he does, it'll be
I
college.
hope he does.
I
I
know.
hope he does.
I
so
know, but
much.
they're not going to let him back in the NFL. That's over.
He's
It's not gonna happen.
that man.
Didn't he win the lawsuit? Did he win the lawsuit? Or did he get it just advanced? I don't.
I think it's over. I actually don't know.
Did they give him an apology or some shit? I don't remember. But I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't let him back in then, other than they're just a bunch of bitches that don't want to admit fault. Yeah, he wants.
Yeah, it's going to a civil trial rather than binding NFL arbitration.
Yeah.
Wow. So he got paid from the Raiders, so he got his money there. Well, he had to resign. That was nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's interesting. It's interesting to see. I mean, good call out. That one just had been in the background. You just kind of forgot it was there, but it's there.
He looks like he's having too much fun though right now.
He's having a blast, man.
You know?
He gets to go around to some of these colleges, give pregame
Yeah.
speeches. Have you seen the one he makes to University of Georgia?
I haven't seen that one.
Talking about, you guys are living your dreams, and you're, I need you guys to be nightmares. I need you to
Oh, yeah.
take
I have
everybody's
se- I
dreams
have se-
away.
I have
and,
seen that one,
Oh man, I watched that. Fucking gets me going.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
you
my
sent it to
goodness.
us and I got
You ready to
hyped.
put the pads
Yeah.
back on?
Oh, every time. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh, God.
Get out there. Oh, God.
Starts beating his head on the
Probably
wall.
one of the.
Honey.
Yeah. Why did Marshall go cross-eyed again? It's got his 12th concussion in 5
We're at the
minutes.
family reunion, goddamn.
Got too hype. Got a little too hype.
Tackles grandma.
Over there smelling salts.
Let's go, honey.
The fuck is he running circles around the kids'
Start
playground
tracing your
for?
great aunt around.
I love it.
Get over here.
Morphine bars.
I love it. Well, we got 2 left of this upcoming week. Bucks, Texans, Chargers, Raiders. Is anybody excited about either of those games? I mean,
Not really.
Baker's gonna blow out CJ.
Yeah.
CJ's trash.
Yeah, it's pretty apparent. I like Baker, so I guess if there's
One year.
I'll watch him.
1 year wonder with CJ Stroud. That's what he was.
Yeah, it's pretty apparent. And I was on the bandwagon, but he's proved himself
Yeah.
not worthy.
Yeah, it's what the hell's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like he's got so many weapons around him.
it's
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Not a great trend, but as we talked about before, it's week 1. Doesn't mean a whole lot.
No, he's trash last season too.
It wasn't great.
Were you
Great.
watching
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
showed up last week and did the same as he did last year.
I
And
mean, he's the next Tua in my opinion.
yeah.
Ouch. Well, I mean, Tua's toast.
But again, I'm a Baker fan, so I would tune in just to watch Baker. I love how Baker carries.
I mean, they weren't
himself.
they weren't all that impressive either. It's not like the
No.
Bucks lit the world on fire.
No, they don't,
but-
and they're not gonna. But I like the way Baker plays. I
Well,
like the way he carries
Atlanta too.
himself.
They've got a tougher defense. They're overall for the NFC South one of the top teams down there. Maybe the top team. I don't think there's much competition.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Buccaneers are in there, so that's your competition is beating Baker. But yeah, I think Buccaneers win that game pretty easily. Say
Yeah.
like 34-10, something
100%.
something like that. 34-14.
Okay. So just a full on.
Yeah, it's just slaughter. It's
Okay.
like Tyson fighting an infant. That's what it's going to be like.
Jesus. Lord. Okay. Well, I think we kind of covered any other points on NFL. I feel like we've kind of hit that. Like we're good.
Yeah.
I did want to cover some. We got hopefully some decent college football. We got like
Big slate this weekend.
last weekend was.
That's how it
awful.
goes, man. They open up hot, then they just disappear on you with
That
some bullshit.
second week was one of the worst weeks of college football I have ever seen.
Unless you're an
It's
Iowa
terrible.
State fan.
Yeah, I mean that was a decent game, but I mean,
It's like 4 people.
yeah, I mean, come on. If Missouri and Kansas is one of your marquee matchups, what are we doing?
Did you see the fan for Kansas get chose to win the game, and he purposely kicks the ball to for this like it's a charity
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah, towards
Purposely kicks it towards Missouri's side on
Kansas, towards Kansas. is
lifts up the shirt, says "Fuck you, Kansas." I'm like, yes. And this is why I love football. It's
Yes.
fucking football season.
We need more
It
of
is
that.
football.
We need more of that.
We do. We do.
We need more of that. What's the
Georgia,
slate you see
Tennessee.
in there? Georgia, Tennessee is going to be the game of the week.
That's
Yeah.
probably your best one in terms of the early matchups. For some reason, you got IU versus Indiana State tomorrow on Friday night, which we're recording on Thursday, or a 6:30 game. IU should obliterate
If we
them.
don't obliterate them, we've got problems.
Yes. Alabama, Wisconsin. I mean, who cares? I could care less
So,
about either of these programs.
yeah, I
Done
could
with
give
them.
2 shits.
You could garbage matchup. When it comes to Clemson, Oklahoma, not playing anybody. Oregon,
Northwestern and Oregon, that could be a sneaky tough team playing in Evanston.
Yeah. Early game.
For whatever reason, doesn't matter how good Northwestern is, they're always a tough game. I'd probably bet the under on that game.
Well, and you got to figure Oregon coming cross country.
They did just score, 69 or
Yeah.
74 points, something like that.
against Oklahoma State, which Gundy's done. Like that was that.
It was embarrassing.
that's
has to be.
nail. That's it. He's done.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Okay, buddy.
That's not true. So get your facts straight. I mean, come on. That's just epic. That's all he's good for, though, is that epic rant. He's done nothing else. Georgia, Tennessee, though, 3:30. That's going to be I think, probably one of the better games.
Tennessee loses that one.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably go with that. I wouldn't disagree with it. I'm interested in the South Florida Miami game. A lot of people are looking at this as like, listen, South
I
Florida,
like
Yeah.
South Florida to
they're
win
doing
this game.
things. They're doing things.
South Florida, they're they've got their shit together. Their coach has been phenomenal. This run has been coming for the last year and a half for South Florida.
Who have they beaten so far? There's 2 games they've won against ranked teams. Who was it? I'm blanking.
Yeah, I'm blanking it too.
Florida.
Boise State. they
Florida
blew
in
out
Florida. Who you talk about rough? You can't do that.
They made
Yep.
DJ Lagway look like shit too. That killed his Heisman potential run.
Done. Well, and they got a coach fired. Napier done, and I mean he needs to be fired anyway. But the Florida head coach is done. You can't lose in the swamp to South Florida.
Yeah.
You can't. Like that's that. So he's toast.
Last time Ohio played Ohio State at the Shoe, the Ohio's the Bobcats for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
What
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck is Bobcat doing in Ohio? The
You're good. You're good.
Ohio mascot speared
No,
Ohio State. So we'll see if we've got mascot on mascot crime. I'm here for it.
Mascot on mascot.
That's about the only thing to watch
Yeah.
I'm here for it too.
is the pregame of that game. Other than that, I mean, Ohio State's probably winning by 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean it might just be kind of a.
Texas A&M got a chance against your Irish?
They're undefeated. They're 2-0. I will say I was impressed with CJ Carr in the first game. I've always said during this Marcus Freeman area, don't give them 2 weeks to be prepared. So I like Notre Dame to squeeze out a tough one at home. But that's going to be a tough game. It's going to be an ugly one, in my opinion. But see how much they get Julian Love going. I feel like that was part of the big reason why they lost that game is they ran away from them for whatever stupid reason. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Dim Brock as offensive coordinator. So
yeah, you really need Miami to win. If you're Notre Dame, you need Miami to keep winning.
Fuck Miami.
Because Notre Dame doesn't play anybody else the rest of the year. What's the next best game they got the rest of the year after this? They play anybody? Is it USC? Is that it?
Pittsburgh's tough. You play Boise State, who's now not looking as tough as an opponent. They play at Arkansas here in another couple weeks.
Nah.
There's not really much of
This
it.
is it.
USC's kind of on a downward slope right now.
So this is the season for Notre Dame, because if they lose this game, not only do you have 2 losses, but you don't have any other opportunities.
A 2-loss Notre Dame doesn't get into the playoff.
Yeah.
That is the one knock with not having that conference.
Yeah.
I will say it till the day I die that they belong independent. It makes more sense for them.
Yeah.
But that's the risk you take being independent.
There are
2
disadvantages.
losses, you're out of it.
There's definitely disadvantages. But beyond that,
I like. Sorry, I'm getting excited about this. I like Vanderbilt to pull off the upset against South Carolina. Pavia, quarterback for Vanderbilt's got some of the biggest heart out of any quarterback in the country. I like Vanderbilt to win by 17 in this game.
wow.
That's a big one.
That's not an upset. That's a shellacking.
I like Vanderbilt a lot.
Okay.
They're a tough team. They returned just about every starter offense and defenses off last year's team that knocked off Alabama. So I really like this team, and their coach has that ship turned around is what it looks like. There's a lot of excitement coming out of Nashville right now.
Well, good. Well, best of luck to your Irish. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I am a Marshall fan, so I'm rooting for him, for you, and hoping they do something, and hoping they have a good game. Want to see a good game. I just want to see good matchups kind of across the board, and do expect to see that. We expect to see it this week. College football, you got to do better. That week 2 slate, I don't know. You can keep that. Like I'm over that. I want to watch it.
Every
It was
year.
awful. It's just absolutely awful. But better matchups this week. The NFL, we got lots of good matchups. I think that's it, boys. I think that's an episode. Definitely appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you hit us up literally everywhere: TikTok, Facebook, X. When we get on there, we're definitely on there from time to time. Full episodes, YouTube, Spotify. Make sure you engage. Get in the comments. Let us know where we're wrong. Let us know where we're right. But most of all, just engage. That's all we want to see. We want to connect with y'all. Appreciate the time. As always, tune in, and we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.
Fuck the Aggies.